Every mechanic has a list. Cars they dread seeing roll through the door. Not because they're bad to drive, but because fixing them is a nightmare. Here are the worst offenders.
Ford Ranger. Ford sold over 100,000 Rangers in Australia last year alone, making this one of the most common vehicles on the road. But here's the dirty secret. It uses a wet belt diesel engine, meaning the timing belt runs inside the engine oil. Sounds clever. In practice, replacing that belt can mean removing driveline components, cracking open the sump, and risking expensive seal damage. What used to be a routine 2-hour service is now an all-day teardown. And if the belt snaps early, it can destroy the entire engine in milliseconds.
Ford Everest. Same bones as the Ranger, same headaches. Families buying this large SUV for school runs and weekend trips have no idea that underneath the comfortable exterior sits the same engine architecture mechanics dread. When a timing service comes due, the shock hits at the invoice, not on the road.
Toyota Kluger, Highlander. Toyota has one of the best reliability reputations in the world, but even the best can hide a painful flaw. On the Kluger and Highlander, when the air conditioning evaporator fails, a part roughly the size of a lunchbox, mechanics have to remove the entire front interior. Dashboard out, trim panels off, heater box dismantled. The part itself? Cheap. The labor to reach it? You're looking at a full day's work minimum. Most owners can't believe the quote until they see the dashboard sitting on the workshop floor.
Subaru Forester. All-wheel drive, practical, beloved by outdoor enthusiasts. But the famous Subaru Boxer engine creates one of the most cramped engine bays in its class. Everything is packed so tightly that simple repairs take twice as long as they should. And like the Kluger, an air conditioning evaporator failure turns into a dashboard removal job. Mechanics don't hate the Forester, they just respect how cleverly it hides its inconvenience. Volkswagen Golf. Over 37 million Golfs have been sold worldwide. It's the world's most popular hatchback. But diesel versions have a dirty secret. Literally. Exhaust gas recirculation systems pump oily gases back through the intake, and over time, thick carbon sludge builds up inside the manifold. Airflow drops, performance suffers, and cleaning it properly is messy, slow, model-specific work that independent workshops often need special tools just to begin. Audi Q3. From the outside, a compact premium crossover. Inside the workshop, a puzzle. The Q3 hides premium car complexity in a compact car shell. When the evaporator leaks, and mechanics see it often enough, they recognize the job the moment the car arrives. Most of the dashboard has to come out. On a car carrying a luxury badge, owners expect durability. The bill for what feels like a simple AC repair often leaves them speechless.
Mazda6 Diesel. The Mazda6 Diesel is a genuinely refined car on the highway, but modern emission systems have a side effect nobody talks about at the dealership. Soot and oil vapor mix inside the intake over time, baking into thick carbon deposits. Power slowly bleeds away. Fault codes appear. And by the time the car arrives in the workshop, intake components have to be removed and scrubbed by hand. A job as unpleasant as it sounds.
Mercedes-Benz Vito. Commercial vans lose money every day they sit in a workshop. That makes the Vito's most infamous fault especially painful. When injector seals fail, combustion gases leak and carbon slowly encases the injector like concrete. Mechanics call it Black Death, and it earns the name. Some cases require removing the engine entirely just to extract an injector that started as a faulty copper washer worth a few dollars. It is one of the most dreaded jobs in diesel mechanics.
Volkswagen Amarok. A capable, respected pickup, but workshop staff have learned to bring extra rags for one reason. The oil drain plug sits directly above a structural crossmember. Pull that plug and oil cascades off the frame and onto everything underneath. Every single time. It sounds trivial, But a design flaw that makes the most basic service messier than it needs to be gets remembered and complained about for years.
Mini Cooper. Modern Minis share engineering with BMW, which sounds like a good thing, but on many newer models, the PCV valve, a simple, cheap component on older engines, is now built directly into the valve cover. When it fails, you're not just replacing a valve. You're removing fuel and intake components to access something that used to take 10 minutes. A $30 maintenance item becomes a $500 repair because of one design decision.
Jaguar Land Rover. Modern Jaguar Land Rover vehicles look premium and drive beautifully, but mechanics know the nightmare hiding underneath. Many models place the timing chain at the rear of the engine against the firewall, turning a major service into an expensive teardown that can require transmission removal. Owners expecting luxury are often shocked when a timing repair bill costs thousands on a relatively new vehicle. Mercedes-Benz S-Class. The S-Class has always defined what luxury can be. Modern versions are rolling computers, active suspension, dozens of electronic modules, hundreds of sensor inputs. When an electrical fault appears, it can take days to trace through interconnected systems before the cause is even identified. Some wiring harness replacements cost more than many people's entire cars. The experience of driving one is extraordinary. The experience of repairing one is another story. Ford EcoSport. This is where it gets genuinely devastating for owners. Wet belt failures in some EcoSport models caused catastrophic internal engine damage, and the repair bill for a full engine replacement sometimes exceeded the market value of the car itself. Mechanics hate delivering that news. Owners who bought an affordable compact car find themselves facing a decision no one should have to make: repair a car that's worth less than the fix, or walk away entirely. BMW 3 Series. BMW removed the traditional oil dipstick from many modern 3 Series models. Gone. Replaced by an electronic sensor that requires the engine to be at operating temperature and running to give a reading. It sounds like progress, but when the sensor fails, the most basic check in car ownership, pulling out a dipstick, is no longer possible. A 100-year-old tool replaced by a system that can malfunction. Before you buy your next car, ask your mechanic what they think of it, not the salesperson. If you found this useful, follow for more real-world car knowledge that dealers won't tell you.